Hi guys, Forgotten Wolf here, and this is the finale to my Robert's Rebellion mini-series. It's also the finale to my specials for the 15th anniversary of Game of Thrones, and it's the Tower of Joy, where the fate of Lyanna Stark was revealed, who was missing since Crown Prince Rhaegar Targaryen ran away with her, which started the war. Now, we return to her, and let's find out what happened. First, I want to say, if you can hear noises around me, it's because it is raining! Before we get to the Tower of Joy, I need to do a bit of background. This is the last battle of Robert's Rebellion. Rhaegar Targaryen is dead, killed by Robert Baratheon at the Battle of the Trident. Mad King Aerys is dead along with Rhaegar's two children. All three of them were killed during the sack of King's Landing. The only two living Targaryens, the boy Viserys and his baby sister Daenerys, had fled Westeros for Braavos. Robert Baratheon is now king, but still remains betrothed to the missing Lyanna Stark. Ned Stark, meanwhile, is married to Catelyn, and the two have a child together, being Robb Stark. Now we get to the battle. Since the beginning of the war, Lyanna Stark was missing, and even though the Targaryens were either gone or dead, nobody knew where Lyanna Stark was. Also, 2 out of the 7 of Mad King Aerys' Kingsguard were also unaccounted for. Sir Jaime Lannister and Sir Barristan Selmy now served King Robert Baratheon, while Prince Lewin Martell, Sir Jonathan Darry, and Sir Oswald Went were killed at the Battle of the Trident, along with Rhaegar, leaving the 2 missing Kingsguard as Sir Gerald Hightower, the Lord Commander, and Sir Arthur Dayne. Why does this matter? It explains how Ned Stark and Howland Reed found Lyanna Stark. Ned had been sent to find Lyanna, and it's never been confirmed how they knew the location of Lyanna. My guess is that some Dornish travelers happened to go past the Tower of Joy where they saw 2 Kingsguard posted at the tower. These travelers found their way into meeting Lord Ned Stark and Lord Howland Reed, where they revealed there were Kingsguard posted at this tower. Ned wasn't stupid and could figure out they were keeping Lyanna Stark there on instructions from the now dead Prince Rhaegar. It's also possible that Ned met with Ashara Dayne. Ashara had danced with Ned at the Great Tourney of Harrenhal, and it's been speculated for some time now that she had some fun time in the bedroom with Ned's older brother Brandon, who was also dead. I doubt this possibility, as how would Ashara Dayne know where the Tower of Joy is, and how would she know there were Kingsguard there? That's why I believe it's simply some Dornish travelers who found out there were Kingsguard at the Tower of Joy. So off Ned Stark went to rescue his sister, Lyanna Stark, from the 2 Kingsguard knights and the best knights alive. Ned didn't come alone, however. He brought Howland Reed, who was one of Ned's best friends, Lord Willem Dustin, Ethan Glover, Martin Castle, Theo Wall, and Sir Mark Ryswell. These 7 men would challenge the 2 best swordsmen alive. A 7v2 would sound like a fair fight when you consider that you'd had to go against the 2 best knights in Westeros. You have to wonder, why didn't Ned call for backup? To answer this, it was likely because he was still pissed off at Robert. God damn, it is pouring outside. What the fuck? Is this even rain anymore? Sorry. When Ned and the other 6 men arrived at the Tower of Joy, Arthur Dayne and Gerald Hightower got ready for battle. After a brief greeting, Arthur Dayne explained there were 2 men there to guard the tower by order of Prince Rhaegar himself, confirming that it was Lyanna Stark inside of that tower. Eventually, Ned began the fighting as he asked where his sister was, and Arthur Dayne says, "I wish you good fortune in the wars to come." He's obviously referring to this battle here, but I also like to think he was predicting that Ned Stark would fight in another war, which he would. Ned Stark's men were off to battle, and they'd already got up to a really bad start. 3 of Ned's companions were killed almost immediately. However, the battle would turn better for the Stark group when Ned Stark was able to kill Gerald Hightower, the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. Barristan Selmy would succeed Gerald Hightower, for anyone wondering. This just left the best swordsman alive, and possibly of all time, Arthur Dayne, against 4 men, which included Ned Stark and Howland Reed. Dayne wounded Howland Reed before killing another with both the swords and another person shortly after, leaving only Ned Stark versus Arthur Dayne, a 1v1 where Ned would almost certainly lose. Ned defended himself well, but was no match for Arthur Dayne, as Ned was quickly disarmed. Ned faced certain death, but when Howland Reed grabbed Arthur Dayne, Howland Reed drove his sword through his back, killing Arthur Dayne, the Sword of the Morning. Immediately following the battle, Ned rushed to the tower where he could hear the screams of a woman. He also heard a voice say, "Father," but no one was there. That would be his son, Bran, watching 22 years into the future. When Ned entered the tower, there she was, his only sister, the long-missing Lyanna Stark. Ned quickly discovered that she was dying. Lyanna knew she wasn't going to live, so with the last strength she had, she revealed the truth to Ned. She revealed that her and Rhaegar were married in a secret ceremony when he had allegedly kidnapped her. Lyanna also gave him a baby boy. It was her and Rhaegar's son, which she named Aegon Targaryen, the true heir to the Iron Throne and the prince that was promised. With her last breaths, she told Ned that he had to protect this boy. Lyanna made him promise, to which he did. Lyanna Stark then died. The future queen, the she-wolf, Lyanna Stark, was dead in a pile of blood. Following the battle, Ned made the only other survivor, Howland Reed, stay quiet about the truth about Lyanna's boy, and Howland promised and kept his promise for the rest of his life. Ned needed to keep the boy's true name a secret, so Ned named him Jon, after Jon Arryn, and Ned claimed that Jon was his bastard son, making him Jon Snow. However, Ned refused to ever name Jon's mother. When Ned Stark got back to King's Landing, he brought word of Lyanna's death, and Lyanna's body was buried in Winterfell. This reconciled Ned and Robert. Ned would never talk much about the Tower of Joy. He told Robert that Lyanna was dead, and together with Howland Reed, he had killed Sir Arthur Dayne and Sir Gerald Hightower. Ned told about the battle to his kids, but never what happened in the Tower of Joy. Most people just assumed that Ned found Lyanna's dead body, and that was it. Ned didn't even tell the truth to his new wife, Catelyn Stark. It would be a secret that only Ned and Howland knew for the longest time, and one that Ned would take to his grave. Thus, with the Tower of Joy's end, Robert's rebellion was over, a war that had changed Westeros forever. The Targaryens had fallen from power after 281 years of rule over Westeros. House Baratheon rose to claim the Iron Throne with King Robert I Baratheon. Ned Stark returned to Winterfell with Catelyn, Robin, Jon. There, Ned and Catelyn would begin to raise their family, and this also brings an end to this little mini-series. I just want to say thank you so much for watching all of these and supporting me all the way through. I never intended this to be a series, as I just wanted to make a video about the Trident and the Sack of King's Landing. But when you guys loved those two videos so much, and combined with it being Game of Thrones 15th anniversary, it was perfect time that I had to make this little series. On Friday, meanwhile, I will be continuing the Life of series with the life of Lyanna Stark. But until then, bye!